Okay, in this video we're in Photoshop and we're going to take the two people on the right here and just move them closer to the group. Okay, nice family shot. Let's get everybody together. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to duplicate the layer so that we've always got our original to come back to. So just duplicate layer, and I'll try and hover over these things to make it easier for you to see. And we just click OK on that. Now we have two layers. Both are exactly the same because we've just duplicated it. Okay. So we can turn off the background one for now, just in case it shows us anything we don't want to see. So we need to move them, but we also need the background from where they're moving from to be replaced. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pick them up. So we go over here and we get the lasso tool, which just allows us to really roughly do a quick selection of those boys. Okay, so I've selected those, and what we're going to do is we're going to put them on their own layer because we'll be coming back to them to do some more in a minute. So we do layer, new layer, via copy, new layer, via copy. So now third layer, we turn off the layer below it. All that's on that is the two people we want to move. Okay, so but nothing else has happened. So click back on the background layer again, and this time we're going to do the lasso again. And for those of you that have seen my video on content aware fill, this should all be very easy to do, but I'll go through it again. So we choose the lasso tool. Again, we just do a rough selection around them. We don't want to give it too much to do, so make it quite close. I'm just doing this for speed. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come up here to edit, and we do content aware fill. Okay, so that's going to bring up a new dialog box helping us to fill that detail in. Okay, so now the areas in green are what it's going to sample. Everything that you can see is normal is not going to be sampled. So you can see over here, it's done in the preview over here, it's done a reasonable job, but it's not perfect by any way, shape or form. So what we're going to do is we come up here and we press the minus button, and we make our, can you see our cursor is getting smaller? I'm using the left and right angle brackets to make it bigger or smaller. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to paint out the bits that I don't want it to try and sample from, to give it a better chance of just filling that in with green stuff. So if people pay attention, don't look at where I'm painting, but have a look at where the preview is and watch it update itself as I... Did you see that? It's done a better sample because I've given it less incorrect things to sample. So the more you do of this, hopefully the more accurate it'll be. But I think that's pretty good. Yeah, that looks pretty good to me. So let's accept that. So just click OK over here, and it does its thing. Okay, so nothing seems to have happened. But if we turn off our people layer, they're no longer there, and it's filled in to a reasonable degree a new background for us. It doesn't, when looking at it like this, it doesn't look great, but as soon as we move the people over that, it'll sort itself out. So click onto the top layer, and now this time we're going to go to select subject, and that selects our two people out from the rough outline we did. Okay, but we want to have that as a layer mask, and we want to do a little bit of tidying up on it. So if we click on select and mask up here, it will bring up a new dialog box, and it'll show us what it's selecting. And again, we have the plus or minus, so we can add or subtract things to it. But for now, I'm not that bothered, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a feather of about 0.5, 0.6 pixels. That should do. And the most important thing we're going to do is we're going to change our output to new layer with a layer mask. So what it's going to do is it's just going to basically give me a new layer and a layer mask hiding all the bits that aren't selected. Okay, and we just click OK. Okay, so now we just have them selected, so there's nothing else of their original details there. So if we click on the move tool up here, that's the move tool, and we come down here and we just click on our layer and drag it across. Obviously we can drag it anywhere we like, but there's my Dougal Bell. We want it over here with the family. Now if you look at where the feet are, if I move him over there, that looks wrong because his feet are behind the child, but somehow his arms come above it. So we're just going to move him back a little bit so he looks like he's standing behind the child. Okay, and that looks pretty decent to me. The only thing I would say is we've lost, because we did select subject doesn't pick up things like shadows. So, but we have a layer mask, and all we've done is hide everything that was around these feet and the rough edges. So if we go and get ourselves a brush, so this is the brush tool, just click on the brush tool, yeah, and down here, so remember with a layer mask, anything that's white means you can see it, anything that's black means you can't. So we want to paint in white over these feet. So if you watch as I paint over these, look at the shadow underneath the shoe coming back, and just around the edge of here, and a little bit here, just a little bit of shadow coming back, which helps sell the picture that little bit better. We just want those little bits coming back in. So I think that looks pretty good from there. If I was being really pernickety, I would say that the two of them look like they're leaning ever so slightly, but that's me being particularly. So what I'll do is I'll just rotate them a little bit. So we go up to edit and we do free transform and just hover outside a little bit. We can just rotate them around so we're happy that they look like they're standing a little bit more straight up, and just click done. And just to show you what it looked like before, and there we go, and just maybe tidy it up a tiny bit with a bit of a crop, but we can do that here. We're just going to delete crop pixels off, and we'll just bring this in a little bit like this, and that looks so much better. Then you just layer, flatten image, and save it. Okay.